Hey guys, what's going on? It is Wednesday, May the 19th, and my son and I are getting ready to head out for the Get on Motofest in Fort Worth, Texas. It is like 7:30 in the morning, I think, and it's going to be a 700-mile ride. I am taking a 2020 Harley Davidson Road King 107, the classic version with the chrome instead of the blacked out stuff. I've customized this bike a little bit. It came with the windshield, it came with the passing lights. I put on the highway pegs, I put on the passenger backrest, the sissy bar, and the luggage rack. And you can't really see it too good from this angle, but the luggage rack under there. And a new seat, plus a phone mount to get us there. We've got rain gear with us. I've got this cooler strapped down. It's full of water and a couple Powerades. And this is just regular luggage strapped down with some rock straps. It's not going anywhere. But we will be checking our gear on the way. Michael's just got a backpack strapped to his. We got bungee cords on that one. It's in pretty good shape, but we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. And he's riding a Kawasaki, a 2009 Kawasaki Vulcan 900. Real nice bike that we found during the winter season last year, and got it cheap. But he loves it, and I love it. Matter of fact, I was going to buy it for myself if he didn't take it. So it's a nice bike. And that's it. We're ready to roll. You good? Yeah. All right. All right, so we've just fueled up. We actually stopped for breakfast before we really started out. We stopped for breakfast. We crossed into Missouri on Highway 270 to get fuel. And now we're officially kicking this shit off. Texas bound. So I just realized I can almost lean back on this cooler I've got on the bike. If I had turned it the other way, I might be able to use it as a backrest. We're on Highway 44 in Eureka, Missouri. And if you look over to the right over there, past the trees, you can see Six Flags. That's Six Flags over Mid-America in Eureka, Missouri. I haven't been there in probably 20 years. Used to eat at that McDonald's every time we went because it was too expensive to eat inside. Man, once you get outside of the St. Louis area on 44, it's some really nice scenery. Lots of trees and hills. I'm not sure what that big bird is up there. We've actually got some eagles near where I live, but I don't know what these are out here. Can't really see them too well. Jellystone Park. There's Boo Boo, or no, that's Yogi. We just hit our first rest stop just past Eureka, Missouri. We passed we passed Six Flags and we passed Merrimack Caverns, and we've just stopped at this rest stop here on 44. We're getting ready to take off now. We're 70 miles in, I believe, so we've still got a lot of miles to go. If only it was sunny outside.
So you can really see this. I mean, that road to Kentucky is beautiful, but man, this is, I mean, we got to get out and see the country more. We got to do more traveling. You can't see that cliff from the road, but that was really pretty. We're gonna go to this Phillips 66 over here. And there's the rain. Maybe this guy was just cleaning his windshield. I don't know. Ugh. Starting to think maybe we should have gone to that other gas station. All right, we pulled over in Mount Vernon, Missouri, and got gas over here at this travel center. And as soon as Michael turned off his Senna, his Bluetooth, it died. And we came over to Subway to eat and found out that it was full of water. See, he had left the charging port open and it was full of water. But not only that, but our gloves that are supposed to be waterproof are filled with water. And our rain gear is supposed to be waterproof isn't exactly waterproof. I would say it's water resistant because there's a lot of places on me that are still dry, but it's definitely not waterproof. So as far as the rain, it's not on our side today, but it has stopped for a little while, and we're hoping to get as far as we can before the rain starts. And I think if we stop for the day in the next 100 miles, we're still going to be dealing with a lot of rain tomorrow. And we're at Hideout Harley-Davidson in Joplin, Missouri, or just outside Joplin, I don't know which. But the rain gear we had worked for a while, but after that it turned into a freaking monsoon, and it was just too much rain for it to handle. So we're getting on the road now. We're going to be crossing the border to Oklahoma pretty soon. And it has been an adventure. So we've done 324 miles. The first 150, I think, there was no issue. But the next 100 was all rain, and we got fucking soaked. We got fucking soaked. Even with the rain gear on, we got wet. Alright guys, we finally stopped for the night last night at a Holiday Inn Express in Oklahoma after driving about 300 miles in nothing but rain, and our rain gear not doing 100% for us. We hit a hotel, and it was the first hotel. Funny, after we crossed into Oklahoma, well, we couldn't find anything. A hotel, gas station, anything. So the first decent hotel we came to, we stopped at the Holiday Inn Express and just locked the bikes up outside the door and went on in and got us some sleep. I think I got about 7 hours. We're getting ready to get up and go get some breakfast down in the breakfast nook, and then we get to set out again, and it's more rain. So we got 300 miles to go today in the rain for another hotel stay. Catch you guys next time.
The news is not good. It's terrible weather in the deep south, especially Texas and Louisiana. Heavy wind and pouring rain caused deadly conditions on the ground, including flash flooding. Hundreds of people in Louisiana had to be rescued from the rising water, and the worst may not be over.
All right, guys, we're either in Choteau or Pryor, Oklahoma, depending on which app you look at. And we're getting ready to head out, and it is just raining like everything. I mean, it's raining cats and dogs. So we're getting ready to head out, and we were planning on getting soaking wet the whole way down there. I'm pretty sure the thing's going to get canceled, but we're gonna ride anyway. So we finally made it to Fort Worth, Texas. After we left this morning, it rained on us for 200 miles. All right, we're about to enter Texas Motor Speedway. No.
All right, you just attended?
Yeah.
All right, you're going to make a left and then a right, and you will park right there, okay?
Okay.
Just
All right, guys, we made it. Texas Motor Speedway to get on Motofest. And there is a race car going around the track right now. So it should come as no surprise that we actually made it to the dirt track at Texas Motor Speedway. We made it to the Texas Motor Speedway. We went to the Get on Motofest, and it was horrible. And now we're at the dirt track at Texas Motor Speedway to see the flat track race, and as you can see, we are all trapped under the bleachers because it is still fucking raining. This is how hard it's raining. This is under the bleachers. It's raining under the bleachers. The dirt track at Texas Motor Speedway. It's just the worst. This is a one-pleased customer right here. He's happy. We're getting soaked. It has been like this all week. Texas Motor Speedway dirt track again. Still raining. Hello again from Fort Worth, Texas.
It's Saturday night, the night that we were supposed to see the American Flat Track Association race at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track. And as I kind of predicted from the beginning, it got canceled. When we left the house, we made it about 100 miles before we encountered rain. And we had prepared for a few showers because there was spot showers forecast all the way down to Texas. We bought some rain gear. We had our Bluetooth comms devices that are supposed to be waterproof. I had some gloves that were supposed to be waterproof, Harley Davidson gloves. And because they had forecast spot showers, we thought that we would eventually ride through it and get to the other side of these showers. We were riding in the rain the whole time. So at about the 300 mile point, we decided the next hotel we see, we're stopping. And we couldn't find a hotel on our route, is what I'm specifying. On our route, we couldn't find a hotel, and we could not find a gas station. So we came to a gas station, and we stopped, and we didn't even need gas yet. But I told my son that we're going to stop here and get gas because, as far as I know, this is the only gas station in Oklahoma, because we just didn't see any. We're in Oklahoma. We stop at this gas station, and I tell him the next hotel that we come to, we're stopping. I had no idea we would ride another 100 miles before that we would find a hotel. And we did find it was a Holiday Express. Next morning, it was supposed to be cloudy with a chance of spot showers. Yeah, it rained all damn night. Woke up in the morning and we're sitting there at the breakfast nook eating breakfast, and we're looking out at all this rain. And we're watching the television. The weather reporter is talking about the just unbelievable amount of rain that Louisiana and Texas are experiencing. And Oklahoma was getting part of that, as well as a few other states. But Texas and Louisiana were just getting absolute record numbers of rainfall. And we were headed right for Texas. So when we left that morning, Michael was saying, before we even left, I don't want to ride in this rain again. I don't want to keep riding in this rain. And we just really didn't have any options. I said, okay, if we turn around and we go back home, we're going to be riding in the rain that way too, because the rain's all the way, it's up that way as well. So we leave there, and 400 miles in the rain. And the last, and I expected to be able to see some nice scenery. I had my GoPro with me, and I expected to see some nice scenery on this trip and be able to take some video and some pictures and stuff like that. No, all we could see was rain. The visibility was crap. It was rainy. It was foggy. And every time a car would go by it would spray on my visor. I couldn't see anything. Once we got to Fort Worth, the traffic is hideous. I don't ever want to come back to Fort Worth again. The traffic was absolutely insane. And the sun came out. Every time we got stopped in bumper-to-bumper traffic, the sun came out. So here we are wearing rain gear, stopped in the middle of bumper-to-bumper traffic, and the sun is shining. So we were burning up, just hot as we could be. We get to the hotel, we get checked in. They let us park our bikes not under the awning, but like right next to the door. We locked our bikes up and everything. Came inside and went to bed. It was just the rain. Next morning we wake up, still raining. We managed to go to the Motofest later on in the day after it stopped raining, but this is just, it's been the absolute worst trip I've ever been on. But when we started headed for this Get On Motofest, which was taking place at Texas Motor Speedway, the traffic was hideous. It was cloudy. It had been raining that morning, but it was cloudy on our way there. Stuck in traffic. Took us 47 minutes, I think, to get there. And by that time, my GoPro died. All I had video of on my GoPro was traffic. So once we got there, we stopped in the parking lot because they weren't quite ready for us yet, because the thing was supposed to start at 12 and it was 11:30. So we went back out to the parking lot and I charged my GoPro for like 10 minutes. So I've got video of myself riding through the tunnel to get into Texas Motor Speedway before it died again. So we go inside. Now, part of the things we wanted to do on this trip was Michael was wanting to meet Walterific, who's a famous YouTuber, and I wanted to meet Shade Tree Surgeon, who's also a famous YouTuber. I didn't know that Shade Tree Surgeon was bringing another YouTuber called named Flipnow with him. So I got to meet both of them, and I got to take a picture with them. So that was really cool. And I also got to meet Walterific, and I took a picture of Michael with Walterific. And Walterific gave us one of his famous spam cards, which is usually just a business card, but it's actually he actually gave out these little metal cards, which are really cool. And I don't have it near me right now, but I'll show it later. But so we met them. Michael wanted to go test ride a bike. Well, I'm walking around in soggy, wet Harley Davidson motorcycle boots, got blisters all over my feet, and the sun came out, so I got burned pretty good all over where my hair used to be. It was awful. But Michael got to ride a bunch of different bikes, test ride some bikes, and so he was really happy. And of course we come home that night, and it was nice for most of the night, and then next morning we'll wake up, it's raining again. Stopped raining long enough for us to go to the Motofest, to get on Motofest. But the Saturday, this morning, was the day of the flat track race that we had also bought tickets to see, which was going to be taking place after the Bike Fest. So we went to the Bike Fest. Michael test rode some more bikes, and I sat there. I had to stay off my feet because my feet are blistered. I'm sunburned. But the weather was actually fairly, and when I say nice, I mean it wasn't bright sunny where I'm going to get burned again, and it wasn't cold and rainy. It was cloudy, it was overcast, and there was a cool breeze, so it was pleasant. So he goes and he test rides some bikes, and they had a live band, which was actually pretty good. Played a lot of classic rock and stuff. So he says, are you ready to go on over to the dirt track to see the flat track race, which wasn't supposed to start until they were going to have opening ceremonies at 7 o'clock, and it was like 4:30. But we were going to go on over there because they had stuff going on over there. They were actually running bikes around the track at this point. So I said, yeah, we go on over there to the flat track. Or we go on over there to the dirt track, and we go in, and he buys me a corn dog, a lemonade, and we go sit in the grandstands. And the motorcycles made like 5 laps, and I took like 3 bites out of the corn dog. It started raining again. So I told him, I said, it's not too bad yet, let's wait. I couldn't even get half my corn dog gone before it was just pouring on us. So everybody went down under the bleachers, and we're all like, okay, we're going to take shelter. It'll be gone pretty soon. Even the person that was doing the live calling of the event, he said, all right, we got a few clouds in the area. It's supposed to clear up in 25 minutes. I take my phone out. I look at AccuWeather.com. Yeah, they're saying 25 minutes. It's going to clear up in 25 minutes, and we'll be able to see this race. Oh, that'll be awesome. 15 minutes later, now they're saying an hour. 45 minutes later, now they're saying 2 hours. A little bit later, now they're saying it's not going to be over till 9:30 at night. And it was like 8:30, and I told Michael, this thing is not happening. I had been predicting since we left the house that this thing was not going to happen if it's raining. And sure enough, we started to leave the track. Now, he did not bring any of his rain gear while I brought mine. So we started to leave the track when the rain died down a little bit. So we left the track, didn't even get all the way off, and it's a huge parking lot, by the way, because they share a parking lot with Texas Motor Speedway. Huge parking lot. So we go out, we get on our bikes, and it's it had died down, but by the time we got to the parking lot and got on our bikes, it was raining cats and dogs. And by the way, just a shout out to, I think there was Christian Soldiers for Christ. It's some kind of biker gang that's like a Christian biker gang. And they were actually letting people check their gear in with them, so you didn't have to carry your gear around or worry about locking it up on your bike or whatever. So we were able to check our helmets with them, and they gave us a ticket. And when we came back out, we gave them the ticket, and they gave us our helmets and everything back, which was really, really cool. So we came back out, and we got on our bikes, and we start heading out, and it just bang, the heavens opened, and it was just non-stop torrential rain. And because we didn't realize how big Fort Worth was as a town or as a city, we didn't realize how big it was. So when we started looking for hotels in Fort Worth, the hotel that we got was 26 miles away from the Speedway. So we had to ride 26 miles in the torrential rain back to the hotel. We didn't even make it off the parking lot before the heavens opened. And I told Mike, because I was just in a t-shirt at this point, I told Mike, I cannot do this. I've got to put my rain gear on. But he didn't bring his rain gear. So I'm in my rain gear, and he's in his mesh motorcycle jacket. And I said, okay, we've just got to push through this. We've got to get as far as we can. And, he was like, is there any way we can just have the bikes shipped? And I said it would be thousands of dollars to have them shipped back home, because he was already talking about this whole vacation, this whole thing's gone to crap. He's wanting to ship the bikes back home and take a bus home. And I said it would be $1,000 or more to ship a bike back to the house, plus us to get bus tickets to go home and all that stuff. So I said we just got to push through this. We got to get back to. And the thing was, it was starting to get dark, and I said we need to get back to the hotel. It's a Saturday night. It's raining, it's crappy, and it's starting to get dark. We need to get back to the hotel, because even though they say, the rain's going to end this time, they had been pushing it all day. The rain's going to end in 25 minutes. It's going to end in an hour. Oh, another hour. Now another hour. So we knew that there wasn't any way, or I didn't think there was any way that it was actually going to stop raining tonight. And it didn't. It rained the whole time. So we get out on the road, and it's just really, really raining. And I didn't put my motorcycle gloves on, because my waterproof ones were back at the hotel. And my non-waterproof ones, I didn't want to mess up. So I just went barehanded. And the tops of my hands, that's partial sunburn, but also partial being hit by the rain the way it was. It stung like hell. It was like pins and needles. And we encountered floodwaters. We had to ride through a couple different areas where it was flooded. We were having to stop or having to slow down and switch it into first or second gear to get through some of these flooded areas. And then, of course, we're going through this construction. Oh, my God. This city is awful with the construction and the traffic and just the amount of people. But anyway, so we get into some areas where you can't get off the road. If you want to get off the road, if you have car trouble, if you have any kind of issue, you can't get off the road. They have got barriers on both sides of the road and no shoulders. So we're going through these areas that are flooded, and they're like that. They've got barriers on both sides, and it's flooded. We're going through these on motorcycles. So we get through these areas, and then there's an accident somewhere up ahead of us. So they've got the whole thing shut down. There's no way to exit the highway. And I asked Mike if he was doing okay. And I said, "Are you cold?" Because I was looking over, and there was a Cabela's, and I'm thinking, if he's cold, we can go over to Cabela's and maybe buy him something to take the mesh jacket off that he's got, and maybe we can get him warmed up. And he said, "I'm not cold." He said, "I'm scared to death." And, he had to explain to me that, the way that the people in this town behave and the way that cars treat motorcyclists around here. And I couldn't blame him. I said, we've just got to get back to the hotel. We got to get back to the hotel before it gets darker. So we ended up making it back to the hotel, and we have both agreed we're never going to come back to this town again. We're not going to a Motofest again. And Michael is even considering trading in his motorcycle because of this experience. He definitely doesn't want to ride in the rain anymore. I don't mind riding in the rain. I have done it before. I did it once before on a trip that I took to Kentucky. And at that point, I didn't have rain gear. I did 300 miles with no rain gear. But I did eventually have to stop at a hotel because, and that's a trip that I usually make in one day, but I had to stop at a hotel because it just got so cold. But yeah, it's just been the most miserable. This trip has been the most miserable experience of our lives. And the flat track actually emailed me just after I got back to the hotel. They emailed me and said that the event had been canceled, so I am entitled to a partial refund because, and they say partial because we did attend the Motofest, which was an event that was also billed separately, but we bought like a super ticket that includes both the Motofest and the flat track race. So we're entitled to a refund for the flat track race portion. So I'm definitely going to take them up on that. But now we're looking at the next 4 days of rain, and we're supposed to be leaving here tomorrow morning. And Michael just went down, or he just went and put our clothes in the dryer. We're not going to bother washing them right now, but we need to get them dried so we can pack them in a bag to take home with us to wash at home. But they're just so soggy wet. And I have never seen this much rain in my entire life. And they're talking about it came from a tropical storm. It's been miserable. It has been miserable. And, you know, I'm saying bad things about this town, how I'd never come back to this town. I understand that the town has got nothing to do with the weather. The weather has nothing to do with the town. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the experience of driving in this town. It's just so full of people. Now, I worked in St. Louis for 20 years, and there's not that many people in St. Louis compared to this. And the traffic in St. Louis is a breeze compared to this. And the construction in St. Louis is nothing compared to this. This place is awful. I'll never come back to Fort Worth. And if you're from Fort Worth and you're offended by that, I'm sorry. Don't worry, I'll stay out of your town because you don't need me anyway, right? Good. I don't want to come back. But that's all I got to say on this subject, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe I'll update this with what happens tomorrow, because if we have to ride in rain the whole day tomorrow, once again, we're going to be going 400 miles and then stopping at a hotel, and then the next day traveling the rest of the way. If it's nice tomorrow, we may try to push that a little bit further so that we don't have to ride in rain the next day, because I'm positive we're going to run into rain. And we're just so tired of rain that we don't ever. I'm not even going to... Michael says he may not shower for the next few months because we've had enough. We're done with it. We're done. It's miserable. So I may update this tomorrow and tell you what happens then. But for now, we're going to start packing up tonight because we got to leave at by 11 o'clock in the morning and hope it's not raining. See ya. Okay, guys. The cursed trip is almost at an end. We are right now getting on our bikes and leaving Fort Worth. It is Sunday, and by God, it's not raining right now, but it is getting ready to. The weather forecast is forecasting showers. So we're going to try to get out of here as fast as we can before it hits us. See you guys later. All right, guys, another day, another hotel. We left Fort Worth, Texas this morning, I think about 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 or 10. And it was cloudy, but it was not raining. But we were expecting rain. They were talking about rain about 11 o'clock, and checkout was at 11 o'clock, so we left early. We had about 5 minutes of sprinkles, and then the rain let up, and we saw the clouds got higher and higher, and then more sparse. And then finally the sun started shining through, and then we went several hundred miles with sunshine. So it's just proof you don't ever want to go to Fort Worth, Texas, because the clouds follow you there and then they stay there forever. But we are now in Searcy, Arkansas, and Arkansas is a beautiful state. We drove through several national forests. I think, well, maybe not several, maybe two, not national forests, but they were beautiful. The just driving along the road and pine trees on the side, it's just gorgeous. I don't know if they're actually called pine trees, but they've got needles instead of leaves, so I call them pine trees. So it was a really nice ride. The thing that I need to get used to is maybe stopping, pulling over, and getting the GoPro out and attaching it to my helmet so I can actually record some of the stuff on the ride. But once you get going, you know, I don't like pulling over on the side of the road because it's a little bit dangerous the way people drive. And for the other thing, I just kind of like to experience things through my own eyes instead of worrying about the camera all the time. So I guess if I'm going to run a YouTube channel, I need to think about that. I need to think about, you know, occasionally hooking a camera up and sharing it with people. But we're in Searcy, Arkansas. It's Searcy. So I don't know if it's Searcy or Searcy, or I don't know how it's pronounced. But we have to check out before 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, but I think we're going to be trying to get out of here a lot earlier than that, because we want to get home. We really want to get home. It's been a bad week. So we're probably going to wake up and get our complimentary breakfast. We're staying at the Best Western Plus. We're probably going to get our complimentary breakfast and then and get them on the road again. We got 300 miles to go to get home. Take about 5 hours, 5.5, maybe 6. But we'll both be glad to get there. So check you later.
Okay guys, well we finally got some good weather on the way home. We started out yesterday from Fort Worth, Texas, and when we started out it was looking like it was going to rain pretty hard. They were actually scheduling rain, so we got out of there before the rain hit. Got about well, we got a few minutes outside of Fort Worth, and we had about 5 minutes of rain, and then after that the sky started clearing up, and this is what we're running with today. We stopped for the night in Searcy, Arkansas, Searcy, but I had packed my GoPro kind of at the bottom of my stuff, and didn't want to pull over and take everything apart to get to it to do any recording. So this morning I made sure it was properly charged and everything, and now I can get a little bit of a view of Arkansas. We went through some really beautiful roads yesterday with pine trees on the side, and I think we were going through a national forest or something, but it's just really beautiful. And so far what I've seen of Arkansas, it is a beautiful state. Of course, they could just be putting that, you know, along the sides of the main roads here for tourists, while the rest of the state looks like crap, but you know, I prefer to think that the whole state looks like this. We did go through Jacksonville, and I think we went through Little Rock also, but Little Rock, it seemed like we passed through there so fast I didn't notice it, or it's Jacksonville was just such a big heaping mess that it, you know, kind of put Little Rock to shame, because Jacksonville was just a big city, kind of like I'm used to with St. Louis. Terrible roads. I hit like 2 potholes yesterday that made me think I was going to pop a tire, because they just sneak up on you. You can be looking straight ahead, and all of a sudden there's a little bump in the road, and it's a huge pothole on the other side of the bump, so you can't really see it very well. But I hate those. So for now I'm just kind of taking the ride, enjoying the ride. We got 300 miles to go.
Alright guys, we made it home from Texas yesterday, and the bikes are filthy. I guess they would be after riding 700 miles, or I'm sorry, close to 1,600 miles, about 600 or 700 of that in the rain. So they've gotten a little grimy. They're pretty dirty. So it's time to wash it up.